Hello, Ida. Hello, Brian. How have you been? Very well, thank you.
He threw up when he found out you were a monster.
This video was made possible by my patrons, Joshua Bartlett, Scorch88, Drew Cavallo, Thomas Frost, James Schubach, Gomicide, Victor Cage, Douglas Smith, Capitalism is Good, Pipsqueak, Michael, Lady Cthulhu, and Snizzy Poo. Thank you so much to all of you. Hello everyone, this is My Two Cents, and today's video is going to be a collaboration with a good friend of mine. But first, I'd like to say thank you to my sponsor, Gomicide. Gomicide is creating gaming, art, music, and other entertainment content. If you check out his Patreon, you'll find that he's willing to give shoutouts, allow you to pick whatever outfit he wears during streams, no matter how ridiculous, make music videos, or create pieces of art, all for very cheap prices. So if you're into gaming and entertainment content, check out Gomicide, link in the description. Now, as I was saying, this video is a collab with a friend of mine. I'll allow him to introduce himself.
Why, thank you, My Two Cents. I am Sir Conservatarian. It's a pleasure to be working with you.
It's a pleasure having you on.
So, what's the subject matter?
Imagine walking down a crowded street and having all of these eyes on you, and you're just trapped in this state of paranoia, trying to figure out what about you it is that is making people so uncomfortable. Is it my jawline? My forehead? Do people think I look like a man? It's such a complex feeling as someone who wants to feel included in society.
Oh, dear Lord. We're actually doing this, aren't we?
I'm afraid so.
Alright, let's dive straight into this.
I definitely feel unsafe a lot of the time in public spaces. I think initially people look at me because they're like, wow, here's a tall, attractive woman walking down the street. And then the more they look, they notice that I'm trans and they're like, no way. And then they're just like, oh my God. And then maybe they think, is she a hooker? Is she a movie star? Is she a model? How do I get to know her? Or that's disgusting. It's never positive after they discover that I'm trans.
So the question I would ask is, what exactly do you think they're supposed to be thinking? You say you think that some people are saying, she's beautiful, and how do I get to know her? But then you say, it's never positive once they find out I'm trans. Look, you have the right to be trans if you want to. You do not have the right to dictate how people respond to your choice or what they think of it. And newsflash, no one does. No matter who you are, someone is going to criticize the choices you make.
Madam, why do you act surprised? Finding out someone is trans is a very big thing, seeing how the vast majority of the population identifies as the sex they were born as. If anything, people have every right to be surprised based on how well you've transitioned.
I leave my house with a prayer. Am I going to get attacked when I leave my house because I don't feel comfortable or I don't feel confident in how I look? Navigating in New York City as a trans woman, you know, it's more psychological. You start thinking, are they looking at me because I'm trans? Or some man features are coming through, like why is people looking? So I think it's more psychological for a trans person to feel scared in public places, especially when it's a big crowd.
If you're really confident in who you are, then why would it even bother you if people are looking at you? And what do you care what they're thinking? If your male features are coming through, well, maybe you should work a little harder on looking like a chick. But then, since you are biologically a male, odds are those male features will always come through to some degree. Finally, you feel scared? Why? Are you afraid people are judging you? This further proves that it's not enough for trans people to have the right to live their lives as they see fit. They think they should be able to dictate how other people feel about their decisions.
I have this everyday mantra.
I'm sorry, Derek? Come on, dude, you're not even trying. That's a guy's name. You can't expect people to take you seriously as a male to female trans with a guy name like Derek. But then I guess that assumes that you are a male to female trans. What are you exactly?
Before we continue, I also like to point out that he couldn't even do the pronouns right. Instead, he goes with the they-them pronouns. Like, come on, if you're going to transition, then you may as well go all the way.
Which I tell myself every time as I get ready in the morning, that I'm amazing, I'm smart, and beautiful, and talented.
Well, I can't say you're smart, as evidenced by the fact that you couldn't think of a better name. But I can definitely tell you that you're special. Most likely in the worst ways possible.
Because these are also words that I kind of help beat down self-deprecating thoughts that I have of myself.
So just like every other human that has thoughts of sadness, fear, or any other sorts of emotion, wow, you must be so special.
My form of self-expression is through fashion, and for me, every time I step outside of my apartment building, I always get a little bit of anxiety, just because my queerness is really visible.
Okay, I don't mean to sound rude, but dude, you need to understand that the way you dress and look is going to grab attention. You can avoid this anxiety by choosing to not dress up the way you do.
I'll say it again. You have the right to do whatever you want. That doesn't mean you get to dictate how other people react to your decisions.
So I'm literally wearing who I am on the outside, and that's putting myself in a really vulnerable state.
If that's the case, then you chose to make yourself vulnerable. Honestly, how can you expect anyone to feel bad for you when you're constantly painting yourself as a victim? You have the freedom to dress and act as you like. You cannot dictate that everyone else celebrate your decision.
So to have all these eyes and judgments and whatnot can be really quite heavy sometimes.
So you choose to dress up like this because it's who you are and you want to show who you are. But then you don't want people looking at you? Sorry, but that's not how it works. If you dress like you do, people are going to look. And even if you don't, they're probably going to look anyways.
At night, dressed the way I do, I think like I attract a lot of attention to myself.
It's not a surprise seeing how you always like to play the victim.
There are times where a man will approach me and they think I'm attractive, and then they start to talk to me and they hear my voice and then they're like, oh, she's transgender. And then like I feel like the immediate reaction at that point is like to get angry or to get violent.
Well, to be fair, the voice kind of gives it away for everyone.
You can't really blame a man for reacting the way he does when you dress the way you do. Every person has the right to date or not date whoever they want for any reason or no reason at all. And I hate to break it to you, but your voice kind of does give it away, and biological sex tends to be pretty important to most straight men.
Why are you walking around like this, trying to fool all these men? Like here I was assigned male at birth, and I had all these privileges, and now I'm like ruining that.
What privileges did you have? And if so, then why did you feel the need to transition? The fact that you felt the need to transition shows that you thought there was something you didn't have as a man that you would have as a woman.
I'm having surgeries and I'm feminizing my body, and that to men can make them very uncomfortable and very angry.
Yes, because only men would get angry and not women. Yeah, people are just completely short-sighted and bigoted, but hey, at least we know you hate men.
I had a situation once where I'm pretty sure this guy knew that I was trans, and like he was talking to me and I talk just like this. I never change my voice. I don't like try to sound like, you know, a cis woman. I just talk like this all the time.
Wait a minute. You said at the beginning that you felt unsafe, and now you're telling us that you don't try and change your voice? If you really did feel unsafe, then wouldn't you try to change your voice? You're either comfortable being trans or you're not. Make up your mind.
And so I was talking to this guy, and because I thought it was just a friendly conversation and I thought he was hot, so why not, right? But I could feel that there was a woman, a cis woman, that walked by.
So, wait, were you like, I feel a disturbance in the force and it's coming my way? No, it can't be. A cis woman!
And she obviously gave us like some really weird look, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're talking to her, in a sense. And I could feel his energy shift because of that. And then his response to me was, wait, are you a dude?
Well, to be fair, that's a lot more polite than what most guys would say. I mean, Lord only knows what he would have said if he had found out later while you were taking your pants off. And, well, if he only likes biological women, then that's his prerogative. Just like it's yours to live as a trans woman.
And I was like, excuse me, in a sense, like, first of all, that's not the right way to ask that question. And so I just proceeded to ask him, did you not know?
Excuse me? You mean excuse you? You led the guy on assuming that you were a biological woman. And you just assumed that he thought that you were trans. And you were trying to get it on with him. So no, you can't blame the man when he asks that sort of question.
And then I just like walked away after that. But in that moment, I felt like it would have been easy for him to attack me if he felt like his masculinity was kind of like questioned.
If he were to have physically assaulted you, then that would have been one thing. But the fact that that didn't happen still means you're to blame. Stop trying to play the victim card. You have the right to live your life as a trans woman. You do not have the right to other people liking it or being attracted to you.
For me, maybe sometimes these men don't know I'm trans, or whoever I get hit on don't know I'm trans.
Then that should say a lot as to how well you've transitioned. But do you think this is a bad thing?
Yeah, it's like disgusting, but secretly inside, you're like, I know I look good.
I hate to sound like a snob, but when you reveal a secret like that to the internet, then it ain't a secret.
And that brings me confidence. As much as I hate it, and I think it's disgusting catcalling, secretly in my mind, I'm like, I know I look good. That means it makes me feel passable when I get catcalled.
Okay, so you're sending a confusing signal here. You can't, on the one hand, say you hate being catcalled and it makes you a victim, but at the same time say it feels good. Make up your mind.
Some people will say nasty things and laugh at me and mock me. People have always yelled things like, is that a man or a woman? Or do you have a dick? Or
I'll admit, that's funny. But let's be real here. That's going to be something that will have to come up sooner or later. I mean, soon it's going to get to the point where guys are going to have to ask their girlfriends, hey, babe, we've known each other for a while, but I need to know, do you or do you not have a dick?
things like that, and it can be really, really scary to be dealing with these people.
Questions and human interaction are scary. Wow, dude, you must have a pretty easy life if that's the thing you're most afraid of.
As much progress as we're making in our society, I think no matter how far we go, we still have that whole group of like cis men who see trans women as weak boys instead of women.
Yeah, because only men can see male to female women as weak and as a problem. It's not like women, or feminists for that matter, could ever hate trans women. Now could they?
And I think that that's part of the attraction for them too. But it's also a really big hit to like our womanhood. I think that it's a man not seeing a trans woman as a woman and just seeing her for a boy and very weak at being a boy.
Wait, so you've met some straight men who like trans women, but then you're offended when they don't see them as real women. Can any guy win here? They have to recognize you as trans but not recognize you as trans? Do you not see the contradiction?
Dating has been sort of a challenge because I feel like sometimes men avoid openly dating me because they think that to be seen out in public with me or to introduce their parents to me, it would prompt people to like question their sexuality. Like, is this guy gay because he's dating a trans woman?
Well, it isn't totally unthinkable, given that straight men usually like to date straight, biological women. I mean, that's what it means to be straight, right? As Ben Shapiro has said, are we really going to get to the point where men are going to have to prove how confident they are in their heterosexuality by their willingness to sleep with other men? Picture that conversation at the Thanksgiving dinner table.
Yeah, it would go, hello, Mom and Dad. This is my loving male to female girlfriend. Don't worry, traps are not gay, so I'm totally straight. So don't ever question my life choices, okay?
And the reality is, like, I think trans women are, like, cool and smart and hot, and guys should stop being so insecure about it. Like, we're women too.
Yeah, and if I wanted to be equally as shallow, I could say trans aren't as attractive to men and should just stop being insecure about it.
I didn't think I looked this good. I'm sorry, I heard you. At the end of the day, we're just like every other person. We just was born in the wrong gender.
Do you not hear yourself? You say, we're just like everybody else. We was just born in the wrong gender. How does that make any sense?
So yeah, publicly we're transitioning to a different sex. But we're just like you. You know, we walk in the same street, we're breathing the same air, we have the same heartbeat, you know. What is different besides me feeling like I was born in a different sex and I want to change that?
A lot, actually. How do you fail to realize this? Just because we walk the same streets means nothing. You going from one sex to the other isn't common, and you expect the rest of the population to treat you as such. I just have to say, it has to be hard being that stupid.
Yeah, you're saying we're not that different. We're just really different.
I wish I could, you know, with these people, talk to them and converse with them and ask them questions. You know, why would you say that? Why do you feel this way? And try to understand their perspective rather than just kind of like brushing it off. And I just think with change, a conversation needs to happen.
Well, you could have a conversation with them if you weren't so afraid of your own shadow. The floor is open. Let me be perfectly clear about this. I support the right of trans people to dress and act however they want. I'm a libertarian, for crying out loud. What I don't support is this ridiculous notion that trans people are somehow entitled to other people being attracted to them, or celebrating their lifestyle, or seeing them as a woman but simultaneously not seeing them as a woman, or whatever. You cannot control how other people act and think, and trying to do so is the essence of totalitarianism. If you were really confident in who you are, it wouldn't bother you that other people didn't accept it. The fact that what other people think bothers you so much shows that you aren't really as confident in who you are as you say.
I couldn't have said it better myself, my 2 cents.
Well, thanks for being on, Conservatarian.
Oh, no problem, dude. It's always a pleasure. Thank you for having me on. In the meantime, I'm gonna find my way back to Las Vegas or somewhere out there in the world. Take care.
And that's our 2 cents, so take it for what it's worth. Thanks everyone for watching. If you liked this video, please hit like and subscribe. You can also hit the bell to ensure you're notified every time I upload a new video. This video was made possible by my patrons. If anyone else would like to donate and help ensure that I have the time and resources to keep putting out content, for just $1 a month on Patreon or Maker Support, you'll receive your name listed in the end credits and the link to one of your social media platforms listed in the description. You can also support the channel by purchasing my 2 cents merchandise or checking out my Amazon affiliate links. To follow me on Twitter, Minds.com, BitChute, WordPress, Gab, or iTunes, check out the links in the description. Uploads are every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, so stay tuned for more videos.